Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome into the channel. My name is Brett with Investing on the Go. Today, we are continuing our series of no 8 to 5 living from our brokerage using Robinhood. This is going to be week 32 of 2026 update. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and go over a few areas. Number one, the quick market update. Number two, our dividend and cash payouts for this past week. Our weekly buys, we did do some buys this week. We didn't do any sells. We're going to go ahead and go over our dividend portfolio because of our buys this past week. How did our dividend portfolio update because of that in income breakdown? Then we'll jump into our margin journal. We got some big dividends last week, which helped pay down the margin. We also got some cash back into the account. And we did also withdraw some cash to pay down our car loan. So that's all in our margin journal update. And then we'll be diving into the Robinhood dashboard to take a look at the Friday performance and the weekly performance. With that said, if you guys are brand new here to the channel, would really appreciate if you go down below, smash that subscribe, smash that thumbs up if you guys enjoy the content. And let's go ahead and get into the market update. So taking a quick look at the S&P 500. We started not too long ago, back on the very end of July, the 29th, the S&P 500 hit a low of $729.10 and quickly, within just a matter of days, hit a new all-time high. Within 6 days, it climbed 6.54% and broke a new all-time high there of 776 and 81 cents. So that's kind of the high at the moment. It has pulled back a bit, but we are looking at support right around 767 was the bottom-ish. You can see a couple of these little areas through here. So that's kind of the support levels. We are looking quite a bit more bullish versus bearish at the moment. And there's some talks out there of a potential deal being restructured between the US and Iran. So I did end up rolling our call options on SPY forward. We'll go ahead and cover that in an upcoming video, so definitely stay tuned, subscribe for that as we go over our fidelity call options. And we'll do a breakdown of why I rolled it, where I rolled it, and what I expect towards the end of 2026. So stay tuned for all that. So taking a look at the charts here over at Y Charts, we can see in the blue, we have the NASDAQ up 5.09% this week, up massive. As we saw some semiconductors, we saw Microsoft continuing to move a bit higher, Meta moving higher. Apple and Amazon were doing some recovery plays from what I was taking a look at here. I invest quite a bit. If you guys check out my Fidelity video, I bought into Meta. So here's my buy right in here at 552.49. We're up nicely on that. You can see Meta has been, it has recovered and is continuing to move higher. Microsoft, it did shoot up after earnings. It has been continuing to move higher after earnings. Apple dipped after earnings, but it's been steadily climbing after earnings. This could be a good opportunity to buy into some Apple. Amazon climbed after earnings. It did sell off a bit after earnings, so it did hit a new all-time high after earnings and then has pulled back to that old high, and it's kind of getting some support, kind of trending sideways. So overall, pretty positive week. I have the sector specific spiders right on here. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. So tech up 7.2% this week, up massive. In the green right here, we have consumer discretionary. In the pink, we have industrials up 2.97. We have communication services 2.78. In the light blue, we have healthcare 1.93. In the purple, we have financials 1.16. Then in the purple, we have consumer staples at 0.08. Then we have the negatives, right? We did see a pullback in utilities and energy. The utilities is down 1.67, but it has been doing pretty well. I think these past few weeks, utilities was actually up pretty high in comparison to the other sectors like the tech. And then we did see energy come down this past week, down 3.44%. So that's interesting. Right when we're looking to make a new deal, we are seeing energy kind of drop back down. We take a look here at oil. I know I do have oil on my chart. So USO, it has pulled back here recently, right here. We were going to be continuing into the war. It was getting a bit more hectic. We did see oil rise up quite a bit to about 142. And then it has been pulling back these last few weeks. The last week and a half, it's been pulling back there. I don't have the other tickers on there for that. But yeah, that's a quick recap. Everything is looking pretty bullish versus bearish going into the upcoming weeks at least. I know job numbers came out, and recently we had, because of job numbers being negative, that was positive for the market as interest rates are less likely to be raised during the next Fed meeting. So that was net positive for the market. So that's a quick update on the market. Now, next up, the weekly dividends and cash payouts. So let's go ahead and pop over to our next one here. This is for the week of August 2nd through the 8th. Now, I like to, again, do my cash redemptions as often as I can. I forgot what we paid for this week. We went camping. We went to the river this week. So we had a pretty action-packed week where we went to the river early on in the week, and we drove out there. Super nice. It was about 101 that day. We spent a good amount of time just hanging out, floating about. And then we also went camping from Wednesday to Friday this week. So we were out. Brand new place, very crystal clear lake. I posted some pictures, some stuff on my Instagram. So guys, if you guys aren't following me over there, definitely appreciate if you guys follow me over there. But all in all, after we've done cashback redemptions here for the week, we are looking at a grand total here of, that's not correct, the grand total for cashback. Can you imagine if I received $1,000 in cashback? That would mean that I spent upwards of $30,000, I believe. So yeah, that's crazy. We got $23.57 in cashback this week. Now, let's go ahead and start off with the dividends. We did receive some dividends this week. The TAP Alpha S&P 500, ticker symbol TSPY, based on our number of shares of 6,939. We're going to be hitting 7,000 shares here shortly, potentially. They paid out $2,082.19. I believe this is the biggest amount of dividends that we've received from T-SPY in ever. So we'll go ahead and check a look at the dividend journal for that. But they paid out 0.3001 per share. So, and then the next one, we did receive one additional dividend payout, which was the Neos boosted NASDAQ, ticker symbol XQQI. This, we have 5 shares of this one. They paid out $4.20 or 0.8236 per share. So if we add all the cash that we received this week, we received the $23.57 from the cash back, the $2,082.19 from dividends from T-SPY, and $4.12 from the XQQI. We received a total this week of $2,109.88 of cash deposited into our margin account that's available for use or paying down that margin and keeping it controlled. So if we're just looking at the most amount of dividends that we received from T-SPY, it must be here. Yeah, create a filter. And then all we have to do in here is clear it all and just type in T-SPY. And I can see all the history of T-SPY in here. We can see right here that T-SPY from April was 0.28, May 0.29, June 0.29, July 0.29, and then here in August, we're back up at 0.3. So we are having an increase, right? April, we had the March-April lows. We did see that dip down from 0.3 down to 0.28 when the initial war took off. During the initial war and all the turbulence has been down at 0.29, but August it bumped up to once again 0.3001, and it paid out $2,082.19, which is the largest amount of dividends that we received from T-SPY. So that is good to see right there. Let's go ahead and bring everything back in. Yeah, so far in the month of August, we can see that we're at $2,086.31 from the 2 companies that have paid out this month, which are T-SPY and XQQI. Okay, so that is our weekly dividends and cash payouts. Next, let's go ahead and dive into the buys this week. So diving into the buys. Now, again, 2nd through the 8th, we only did 1 buy. That's because I was pretty busy this week, and I honestly, it was an early on buy. Tuesday, the market looked like it was more likely to move higher versus lower. So instead of waiting for everything to get more expensive, I just went ahead and dived into ticker symbol TMGN. This is the TAP Alpha brand new Magnificent 10 growth and daily ETF. This one does not have a dividend distribution rate, yield, any of that as of yet. It is currently priced, as we saw here, right around 25, 24. I'm not sure what the price is in there, but there's really only 10 holdings within here. And you can see this is the Mag 10 essentially, right? So Palantir, Microsoft, Broadcom, Amazon, Nvidia, Apple, Google, AMD, Meta, Tesla. So these are your main bread and butter of this specific fund. So Palantir just had earnings this past week, did really good. That caused TMGN to move higher. Microsoft has also done really well. Amazon did really well. So this is just an interesting ETF that I do believe going forward, right? If you're looking to take advantage of the Mag 10, this is an interesting one to take a look at. If you guys have enjoyed the other Tap Alpha funds, this could be an interesting one to add to your portfolio. So that is the buy that we performed this week. We bought 10 shares at $24.81. And we spent $248.14. Once again, every week I like to just be dollar cost averaging $250. I'll look for different opportunities, whether it's invested into T-SPY, TDAC, TMGM, or other opportunities. Right now, gold is beginning to look like it's kind of bottomed out and is beginning to move higher as well. So we could also begin to add into IAUI as well in the future, but that has not yet fully, got to the point where I'd be interested in buying it. So that is the buys that we did this week. Now, diving into the dividend portfolio based on our buys this week here on the 4th of TMGM, we had 20 shares. We did increase our cost basis. Our cost basis used to be $23.12. We did buy those additional shares there at $24.81. So because we purchased it higher, that did increase our cost basis from $23.12 to $23.69, which isn't bad. We went from 20 shares, we added 10 additional shares, making our total shares 30. Our past income was $6.80 estimated. Our new income is $10.20. That's a monthly difference of $3.40. Multiply that by 12. We've increased our yearly income by $40.80. And bringing our yearly income here to $74,495.09. We did remove XSPY from our portfolio. That's been kind of removed. I did change the received dividends to now pull from my dividend journal. So my dividend journal is back here, and this is recording everything. So regardless if I removed XSPY from my portfolio, it still counts as a received dividend. So even if I remove it out of here in this sign, it's still counted as a received dividend for the year 2026. So in the year 2026 so far, we've received $34,909.15. A good portion of that, $1,000 a month, has been reinvested back into the portfolio. So here we are, we're on month 8. So 7 months behind us, we've reinvested roughly $7,000, if not more, of cash from the dividends that we received back into our portfolio. So we're not spending all the capital to live off of. We are using some of the capital to reinvest back into the portfolio. Our estimated monthly payout right now is at $6,207.92. And our estimated yearly payout, as we said, $74,945. Okay, and then we can see right in here, TMGM, we have 30 shares. Our cost basis went up to $23.69. And that position is in the green at 6.54. If I had never purchased BTCI, IAUI, imagine if I put that $30,000 towards, T-SPY or TDAC at the time, right? T-SPY is up a good portion right here. TDAC is up in the green as well. IWMI also really nicely in the green here. I just decided to buy into BTCI and IAUI, which eventually, if these, when these do recover, I will more than likely just kind of remove them out of my portfolio and just stick to the indices, which I do enjoy, which are the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Russell 2000 for the time being, and stick with stuff that I'm comfortable buying and holding and continuing to buy versus just kind of buying it to a specific amount and not touching it so much again, right? So that's the dividend journal here. We've kind of covered a good chunk in there. Now, let's go ahead and jump over to our margin journal update. So this week for the 2nd through the 8th of August, our portfolio, let's go and take a look at our Robinhood portfolio. We ended at a new all-time high for the current time frame. We're at $359,428.59. So lately, I haven't been adding new cash into this account. This portfolio, since back at the end of June, like even earlier to June, I stopped adding new capital into this portfolio. Instead, all my new cash on a monthly basis is being funneled over into Fidelity. So I funneled about 112 or so thousand into Fidelity now versus moving it over this way. And I'm waiting for a transfer bonus to take place here on Robinhood. So we're not adding more capital into here just yet. It's going to be keeping it within the portfolio. So if we take a look here at this portfolio value, 359, 428, it all matches within here. We had our net change for the week. Because of our buys here, we spent $248.14 on TMGN. We bought some stocks. We had $2,086.31 from T-SPY and XQQQI that rolled into the account. We had the cashback that we received of $23.57. And I also paid and transferred some capital over to pay down my car. So I had $592.17 that was withdrawn out of the account. So if I had left that $590 in the account, we'd probably be breaking $360,000 right now. But we are living from our brokerage account. We're actively using the money that's invested in our brokerage account. I don't have an 8 to 5 to just funnel capital back into here on a bi-weekly, weekly, monthly basis. So everything is kind of living from within this ecosystem. So our one-day change here on Friday is up 0.86% or $3,062.32. Our 1 week performance, right? The past few weeks, our portfolio wasn't performing as much because our portfolio has a good chunk invested into TDAC, which this past weeks weren't doing the best. But this past week, we saw the NASDAQ actually outperform really well at 5.09. So because TDAC makes a good portion of our portfolio, it carried our portfolio up this week 5.55% or about $18,885.18 just within this past week alone. Over to our margin. Explore your margin. Everything is looking once again healthy. We're continuing to maintain our margin buffer. It's at 64.99%. Our portfolio, we want to keep our margin use between 125 to 135,000. We just started the month of August. We paid down our credit card. We paid down our mortgage. We just paid down our car. So we have no capital leaving the brokerage account again until we roll it into September. So we just received T-SPY. We received XQQQI. We're going to go ahead and get IWMI, DAC, and a few other dividends roll into the account to help pay down the margin and continuing to move forward. So yeah, everything is looking healthy as a button. So that is our portfolio and that is our margin journal. And there's our Robinhood live dashboard where we went over our 1 day, 1 week, and our margin all matches. So guys, if you have any questions or comments, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. If you guys purchased anything this past week, drop it into the comment section as well. I'd like to see what you guys are buying. Are you guys buying growth, covered call ETFs? Are you guys buying individual stuff? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you guys are interested, I also have a completely free Discord server, so you guys can check out the pinned comment down below, join the Discord server, or check out Robinhood or SoFi to get some bonuses on there. If you've never been on Robinhood, you guys can get a free stock. Over at SoFi, you guys can deposit $25 to get $25. So it's a quick way to get some capital, get started on that platform as well. Let me know how your guys' performance was this past week. Did you guys do pretty well with the market recovery? And we'll be releasing our next video going over our Fidelity portfolio. So definitely subscribe, stay tuned for that. And drop me a comment down below if you guys would just like to drop a comment. Appreciate it as well. So that's it for me. Definitely go down below, subscribe if you guys enjoy the content, smash that thumbs up if you guys like the transparency, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.